You suck. You're bad at things. You're a failure. It didn't work. Here's the thing. I suck. I'm bad at things. I've failed at so many things that I've tried to do. And you know what? That's brilliant. That's incredible. That's wonderful. Because you suck until you don't. You fail until you succeed. You're bad at things until you get better at them. Everything you do, you started somewhere. You started without the ability and you developed it. You couldn't talk when you were born. You couldn't walk when you were born. You couldn't write when you were born. And maybe you don't feel you can write now. Maybe you feel you're a blithering idiot now. Maybe you stumble. I'm getting older. I'm stumbling more. It's just part of life. But the thing is, you're trying. You're making an effort to make things happen. You suck until you get better at something, right? Your standards will change as you get better at something. So, for those of us who tend to focus on the negative, we're always going to feel we suck, no matter how much success we have. It's kind of sad. And so it becomes this thing about, can you keep coming back? Can you keep trying? Right? I like doing photography. I take photographs of hockey games. We used to anyways. I take photographs of nature and do street photography and that type of thing. Every day I take my camera out. I can come home having taken 200, 300, 500, 800 frames of film. Well, DSLR, so frames. And of that 800, and I've seen this with hockey, maybe there's 50 that don't completely suck, where maybe there's a decent shot there. I'll work on those and I'll find maybe 20, 25 photos I like. That's a great day because I've now got 20, 25 photos I didn't have before. And when I look at photos I took 8 years ago versus photos I took 3 years ago, the difference is like revolutionary, right? I write for a living. You hear about that thing about you got to do something 10,000 times before you get good at it. I've easily, without exaggeration, forget 10,000, I've easily written 10, maybe 100 million words and constructed them in sentences and paragraphs and thoughts and articles and poems and stories and screenplays and what have you. I'm a very, very good writer because I've put in the time and I've learned the lessons. I've learned what works and what doesn't. And you can only do that by sucking, by failing, by trying. On the photography front, years ago, before I had DSLR cameras, before anybody had DSLR cameras, we had a thing called film. You put the film in the camera and you just pray to God that something showed up. And I took a trip with friends to British Columbia, and we went whale watching one day. I have a bucket full of photos of teeny tiny dots of orca fins. But standing at the back of the boat one day, I got a shot that took me about, 6 weeks before I found out if it worked. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's basically an orca rising and body surfing the wake of the boat. If all I got out of that trip was that photo, brilliant. Have I been able to repeat anything nearly like that? No, I've done other things. But I got that photo because I tried, because I was willing to fail all those other times at getting anything worth keeping. We take the victories where we can. We accept the bruises and the bumps along the way, because we're working towards something. And sometimes some things I try will take a little bit longer. I'm not an incredible drawer, but I've taken art classes and, they get better. You figure things out. So you suck at whatever it is you're trying to do. You will fail at whatever it is you're trying to do. You will try. And that's cool. There's a world filled with people who don't even want to try, who, if they can't be good at something, and goodness knows I'm living in a glass house when I say this, um, who never try. And so they never get to experience the joy, the silliness, the embarrassment, whatever it is, right? I want to know how to dance. I don't want to learn how to dance. And so far, the don't want to learn has outweighed the want to know how. But I'm a writer. I'm a drawer, illustrator, whatever you want to call it. I'm an artist in that sense. I'm a photographer. I'm a friend. I'm a community member. Everything is something you suck at. I make videos now. Go figure. You suck until you don't. You fail until you succeed. But you got to keep coming back. You got to keep trying. At the end of the day, it's up to you. If you just don't want to do this badly enough, then don't. Don't worry about it. Don't. No self-recrimination. I don't do everything, but I do what brings me joy. I do what fulfills my passions. And you should too. It's worth it. It's so satisfying. So suck. Embrace it. Run toward it. Run toward the failure. Smack into that wall at 1,000 miles an hour. And get up and do it again. It gets better. It is fulfilling. It is joyful. And it brings joy to the world as well. But the prime person you're focused on is you. Do it because you want to. Do it because it makes you happy. I personally don't feel life is worth living if you can't be happy. So find ways to make yourself happy by embracing suckage. You don't honestly have any choice, so you might as well enjoy it, Have a great weekend. I don't know what I'll talk about next time. Take care.